What's up guys? I am in Panama. I am getting ready for a wedding and this is my look. We're currently staying at an Airbnb in Panama, so there's a Christmas tree behind me and I don't know what the deal is. We're in March. Also, this video is a little bit chaotic. I apologize. Nick is blow drying his hair and he was in the shower and we're just kind of like all over the place trying to get ready for this wedding, but I really wanted to film this tutorial for you because I know you always ask about my makeup look when I have a wedding. So this is my look. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is mix this primer with my YSL foundation. This one is really mattifying. It's the All Hours foundation. This is Vitamin Infused Skin Enhancer by xoxo. This is a little bit of a shine to it since the foundation is mattifying and this is shiny. I think it's like the perfect combo. So I did 2 pumps foundation, 1 pump glow enhancer, and then I'm just going to dab it all on my face. Oops, I got some on my brow. And then with a beauty blender, it's already wet. I'm gonna go in and just dab a little bit more and start patting to blend. Okay, so I blended it all over my face and then I made sure to blend underneath my neck and on my ears, especially because I'm wearing my hair slicked back to all like blend together. And I'm going in with the xoxo concealer and this is in 4N and I'm just going to dab a little bit underneath my eyes and then 2 spots going upwards towards my face and some by my nose, some by my lips. And then I usually just draw 1 line here and that was quite a lot, so some up. Then I just tap to blend. The reason I like doing these outer corner spots is because it really looks like it like lifts your face up with the concealer, so it kind of brings your eyes up. It's like a nice effect. And then around my nose and my lips, I like to brighten the area just so it looks like clean and bright. Okay, and then I have like a super base on. This looks nice and even and I look a little bit dead. Now we're gonna fix it. I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I just dot some on my forehead and then I'm going to dot some upwards near my cheekbone. I also dab a little bit along my nose and on the tip. And since I'm wearing my hair up, I'm also just going to darken my jawline so that it looks nice and defined. A lot of contour going on, I know. Now I'm gonna take the beauty blender and I'm gonna flip it over to the fat side. And with that fat side, I'm just going to blend everything out. So it's really important that you blend on your hairline so that way it looks really natural and there's not a break between bronzy color and then your foundation color and then your hairline. And if you mess up your hair like I did there, it's totally fine. You can go back and fix it. I think that messy hair is better than messy makeup. You can see it really like darkens up that area. This hurts my arm. It's a lot of just patting. And then when I go to my nose, I just kind of flatten the blender and I lightly tap the nose area. And if I have any leftover, I always just kind of dab around my outer corners. Okay, and now I don't look dead anymore. But I'm gonna fix my hair because I cannot finish this video with my hair like this. All right, to fix my hair, and now I have my foundation, my concealer, and my bronzer contour on. So now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of blush, and this is the Dibs blush. It has like a half blush and half bronzer on either side, but I like the blush the best. So I'm going in with like a stippling brush and I'm just going to blend around my cheek area. This blush smells so good. Every time I wear it, I like forget that it smells good, and every time I wear it, I'm like, it's delicious. I'm just kind of doing a wet base, I like to call it. There's no powder, there's no powders, basically, that's it. Everything's cream or liquid, which I think is nice for a base area or a base for your face. And then I go in and kind of set everything with powders. But for right now, I'm just going to get all of the base done and then I'm going to lightly add powder at the end because I like to look more like creamy and hydrated and glowy versus like dry and powdery. Now that the blush is done, I'm gonna go in and do my eyebrows. First thing that I do is always brush my eyebrows up. So a product I've been using probably like for 10 years is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo. And this is in the color Ebony, but I only use the lighter color. So you can see it's coming through here. So I only use the lighter color, and then I go in with the Anastasia, I think it's number 13 or 14 brush. I've been using it for so long, the number came off. I basically go in and just tap the powder, and since my eyebrows are brushed, I'm gonna start at the bottom and I just lightly tap up to start filling in my brows, but making sure that they look nice and natural. So that's why I always start at the bottom, and then I just slowly start filling them in. So I like starting at the bottom and the outer corners because that is where I have the least amount of hair. So once I fill that in, then I'll work my way in and kind of just lightly fill in that inner, or yeah, I guess inner area. And I'm doing it like that, so that way this part doesn't look heavier than this part. I always want everything to look nice and even. The reason I like this brush is because the spoolie on the other side does a really good job at spreading the powder out nicely when I brush everything. So right now my brow looks like pretty thick and defined. Now with the spoolie, I just kind of brush up and it diffuses the powder out nicely, but it still makes my brows look nice and full. So I brush up and then I usually just kind of tidy the ends up. So that is one side, and then that's the other. You can just see it's like much more defined and darker, but it still looks really natural. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. My eyebrows are done, and we're gonna continue on with that cream trend. So usually I would put on my bronzer and blush powder if I'm not doing like a heavy makeup, but since I am doing heavy makeup, I'm gonna start with my eye. I'm using MAC's Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Painterly. It's like a nice base, but it's a nudie color. I bought this for my bridal shower and I've been using it almost every single day since I bought it because it's really nice on the skin. So I just get a little bit on my ring finger and I lightly tap all over my eyelid. And as you can see, it like brightens up my eye area. So this is the base that I'm going to work with. I always try to saturate the color. So when I first place the product, I place it more in the inner corners of my eye because that's where I want the brightest color to be, since I'm going to darken up the outer corner of my eyes. Okay, remember in high school when this was like the trend and then you do like black eyeshadow, super harsh? What were we thinking? Now that that's done, I am going to start my eyeshadow. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for this look. I'm wearing a pink dress, so I was thinking of doing pinky tones. This is Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk palette, and there's 4 really pretty pinky tones. So I'm gonna go in with a flat brush, looks like this, and I'm going to grab this light color. So I'm gonna start in the middle so that that's the area that's the most saturated. And I'm gonna stay underneath my crease. So for my crease down, it's gonna be that light pink sparkly color. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, so the reason that we're not putting any powders on our face yet is because if we mess up the eyeshadow, it's very easy to swipe off color on like a wet, dewy face versus when it's already powdered on. So that's why I leave all the powders for the last step. Once that is done, I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go in with this darker brownie pink. This is in the color Smoke Fumes with a Z. I'm gonna go in with this brown, just like lightly tap, and I'm gonna start drawing little circles on the outer corner of my eye. So underneath my crease, I'm just going to start drawing little circles and then blending it out with a windshield wiper motion. It's just going to stay in this like whole socket eye area using a windshield wiper motion, just blending it out, slowly just spreading the color out. Do the same thing on this side. So I start with tiny, tiny little circles to kind of just get the color on there. And then I'm going to start blending out in a windshield wiper motion. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is go back in with that flat brush, and with that same color I just used, I'm going to kind of do a smoky line. Well, that was a lot. So I'm gonna do a smoky line underneath my eyes. And since I put a lot on one side, I'm just gonna spread the color out on both eyes. I personally love the look of this. It's kind of like a just a smoky effect, and it just like makes the eye look cooler in my opinion. So I just got a clean brush and now I'm just blending it out because I accidentally put too much. Okay, so staying in this pinky trend, I'm going to go in, so if I didn't have the next palette I'm about to show you, I'd use this pink color, but since I brought this is by Kevyn Aucoin, and I'm using this middle pinky color. It's called Rose Quartz. And I'm just going to go over the dark base that I added to add a little bit more pink, but instead of focusing on the outer corners over here, I'm kind of in the middle between the eyelid and the outer corner. So that way it's just like gradually going from light to medium to dark. So I do the same thing on this side, and instead of focusing the color all the way on the ends, it's kind of like the middle. Let me blend this out. So this is a fluffy brush, but it has nothing on it. I'm just kind of blend. Now I'm gonna go in with this pink color and I'm gonna blend it out a little up here. And the way I do my eyeshadow is a little bit messy, to be honest. I just kind of blend a lot and I experiment and I see what looks nice and what doesn't look nice. So right now I just did that and I feel like I have to go back into the corners to darken it up a bit because I kind of put too much on top of those outer corners. So I'm gonna go back in with the other fluffy brush, back in with that darky brown pink, and saturate the inner corner one more time. I'm sorry this is really messy, but this is just the way that I do my eyeshadow when I don't have anything planned. One day I'll do a video with like my go-to look, but today's not my go-to. Today's kind of like a hot mess express look. I'm gonna go in one more time with this really pinky Kevyn Aucoin color. I think I'm saying that right. And I'm just going to saturate my bottom lash line with it because I want it to look a little bit more pink to really play off the dress color. Now for the last and final step, I'm going in with that light fluffy brush. I'm gonna go back in with the color we started with, so it's like that champagne-y pink color, and I'm just going to go right underneath my brows, and this kind of just blends the entire look together. I remember when I first learned this trick, I was in elementary school. My friend's older sister was very into makeup, and she was like, you always have to put a highlight color underneath your brows so that it looks nice and finished, and I never ever forgot that. So I just went back in with the brush that already had color on it. I'm just kind of like blending that out, and I think I'm done. I could literally sit here all day and just add more color, so I'm stopping myself. Now I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender and just kind of pat around here in case any excess color landed on my skin. And now we're gonna start with the eyeliner. Sorry, wait, one more thing. Going in with this brush I used to blend underneath my lash line. I'm gonna go in with this Naked palette by Urban Decay and I get a goldish color, and I'm going to just dab the inner corner of my eye to brighten it up a bit. Right, so for eyeshadow, I only own this pencil. It's my eyeshadow pencil. This is Urban Decay's 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Whiskey. I love this pencil so much. I do not own any other eyeliner. I'm going to lightly, with the outer corner of my knuckle, lightly pick up my skin and line my waterline. I know this is bad, you shouldn't pull your skin, but I do it. So I just kind of pull my skin lightly and add a little bit of liner, but only from the middle of my eye out, so I don't go all the way in. So this is what it looks like on, and now I'm going to go in with a brush. It's an angled brush, it looks like this. I'm just going to blend the eyeliner, and I'm gonna go back into the eyeliner and add a little bit of a wing. Looking good. All right, so same thing on the other side. Eyeshadow's done, base is done. You know what that means, it's powder time. We are going to go in with Laura Geller's bronzer. This is Baked Bronze and Brighten in the color medium. I'm gonna get a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to pat the bronzer, pat the excess off, and pat it on my skin. I like patting versus blending because I just think that it looks a little bit more seamless, and that way you're not taking anything off that was already there. So I'm just going to pat where the sun hits me which is up here on the forehead, on the cheekbone area. Lightly on my nose. And then I'm also gonna go down my neck because my dress is strapless. All right, now I'm gonna go in with Laura Geller's blush, and I love this blush. It's the Baked Blush and Brighten in the color Tropic Hues. And I like this blush because it has a little bit of highlight in it, so it looks really pretty on the skin. I just kind of go on my cheek up towards my hairline, and it's a pretty color and highlight at the same time. All right, now that that is done, I'm gonna set my eyebrows before I forget, and I'm using Benefit's 24-hour brow setter. So I usually brush everything up, and then I go in with a plain brush, and on the outer corners, I just knead and make the hairs look a little neater so I don't look super wild. And then I'm gonna go in with my lash curler. This is by Shui Mora. Oh, I almost forgot. I've been using this Fake Awake by Tarte, and it's really great. I use it to line my waterline, and it makes my waterline look nice and bright. So I just go in and line the waterline. All right, I'm going in with YSL's Lash Clash in black. I love this mascara because this is the only mascara that doesn't run on me, and a lot of mascaras always run down by my waterline, even though I do not add mascara on my waterline. I don't know why or how that happens, but it just does. But anyway, this is the only one that does not. And it also just like really does a nice job on my lashes. And since we are at a wedding and it is super hot, I'm going to go in with a waterproof mascara. What I do with the waterproof is just kind of lightly coat the already there mascara so that it kind of makes that mascara waterproof. One of the final steps, and this is how I make my makeup last all night long, is setting spray and setting powder at the same time. So I love this Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrushed Flawless Setting Spray. I basically just kind of saturate my face. Well, I'm gonna do a test spray. Okay. So I just saturate my face with it so that it's really wet, as you can see on camera. And then when I feel like it's kind of drying, I'm going to go in with my NARS translucent powder in Crystal. So it's normally this color. I've just gotten makeup on the inside, and I lightly start tapping where I want to mattify the makeup. The first place I always tap is like on my cheeks around my nose, then my forehead, and it really makes my makeup look really beautiful and matte. And when I have a heavy face of makeup, I go in with another brush and I just lightly tap underneath my eye area to really set that in. This is not something I normally do because this is kind of excessive, but I do it when I'm doing like a really full face. Okay, and now I know this might seem counterproductive, but now we're gonna add the glow back into my face. I'm gonna go in with Tarte's Glow Bar, and with the lightest color in the Glow Bar palette, so this one over here, I just kind of add a little bit of shine back to my face, but this is like not a ugly shine. And then with the fluffy brush in the bronzy color, I'm going in and just tapping so that I can add a bronzy color.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, and then I almost forgot, I'm going in with Kat Von D's Shade Light. This is so old. I think this is like 12 years old. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but basically I'm just contouring my nose. So I'm just going to lightly create a nice little line on my nose to give it a little bit of shape. And the excess I'm just gonna put on my cheeks. And then we are almost done. So I'm adding a little bit of highlighter. This is Iconic London's highlighter, and this is their little mini version. I love it, it's so cute. Just add a little bit on my nose, and I've shared this on Instagram so many times. I really like this highlighter. And with my ring finger, I'm just going to lightly tap, just kind of stay in the same area and blend it out. That way it looks like nice and shiny in the cheek, as you can see there. The same thing over here, but sometimes on my nose it might look like too much, so I go in with a bare finger and blend the rest out. Okay, I'm going in with Tarte's Maneater blush, and this is in the color Coral. And I like doing this because it just gives me a nice glowy flush. So this is really saturated. I just go in and tap the corners of my cheeks. And then with a finger that has nothing on it, I just kind of tap out and blend that out. Just gives a pop of color back into my face, and it adds a little bit of that glow. Okay, this is the last and final step. So lips. I'm using the Sephora liner to go in the color Deep Beige, color 15. I just kind of lightly line the outer corners. And this is a nice like base, because lipstick always ends up falling off, but the lip liner kind of stays on all night, so it's like a little trick. And I'm going with Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. And then my favorite lipstick ever, this is a YSL Rouge in 123 transparent, and this is like the perfect nude ever. So I'm just gonna go in and finish the look off, and I am done. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope it wasn't too difficult to understand, but this is my wedding day makeup look. I always do this kind of same base for different weddings or different events, and then I always just switch up the eyeshadow depending on what I'm wearing. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next, and I will see you next time. Bye.